Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of Real People. This is episode 8, Ford v Ferrari review. I'm the host, Sam Elkins, and I'm joined today by two guests. Very exciting. This is Michael Moore and Jeremy Fink.
Welcome back.
If you remember from It Chapter 2, the very first episode, so we got a veteran. This week we're talking, like I said, about Ford v Ferrari. If you haven't seen the film, then this first section is spoiler-free, so you can watch for now. We'll get into the spoilers later, but we'll warn you before we do, so keep on tuning in. Alright, so right off the bat, initial thoughts. What did you all think?
I loved it. I loved it so much. Just like I pride myself on being such like a car nerd. Mm-hmm. I'm like in the grand scheme of things and like other car people, I'm such like a casual. But like I just like all the cars and stuff, it spoke to my soul. I told Jeremy and basically everybody else that like the whole time I was in the theater, I like held back happy tears like through the entire thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much to an extent as that. I'm not as familiar with cars, obviously, but. I had a great time with the movie. I really enjoyed it. I didn't realize it was James Mangold who made the film until I was sitting there. And it's a James Mangold film, and I got really excited.
Yes.
But I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would, so that was great for me.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, James Mangold is the, in my opinion, underrated director. He directed Logan and also co-wrote Logan. But yeah, so Ford v Ferrari, a film, Matt Damon and Christian Bale, two A-listers coming in. It for me at first, just from the trailers, like I wasn't not excited for it. Like I had heard the reviews that it was like really good and everything, but like I was like, okay, it looks like a Matt Damon film,
right?
You know,
yeah.
And like Matt Damon hasn't done a ton of great films recently, at least.
That was what I talked to Michael and Meg about when we left theaters. I was like, I forgot that like Matt Damon could act.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I'd seen of him was his cameo in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So like seeing him like his role in the film was really good. He did a good job.
Yeah. But what are some like specific things that you guys really enjoyed about it?
For sure, just like the racing sequences were just like really good. Like they were cut like pretty often, like there were a bunch of different views, but I never felt like you were like jumping around. You know, like how like in Interstellar, like it seemed like every shot was like a vine kind of thing, and like it was all like jumping around. But like in this, like there's a lot of like shots that kind of carry through, a lot of like on the hood kind of shots, so you get like that motion, and just like I think just the theater made it a whole lot better. Just like being engrossed in that like engine sound. It was almost like you're sitting like on top of the engine, kind of on the car, and you could like feel every vibration. Like it was,
I think for me, one of my favorite parts is always going to be characters and how they interact with each other. I think Matt Damon and Christian Bale's characters and their relationship in the film is really great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, maintaining their own individual characteristics and how like Christian Bale's character was more of like a combative. And just that beginning scene where we first meet them and are presented with their relationship and the whole wrench throwing and the yelling and the smashing. I'm like, this is going to be, it's a great way. Not only did it establish it, but it made it enjoyable and reaffirmed that it would be enjoyable throughout the film.
Yeah, exactly. And they really stayed true to their characters throughout the film without taking away from their development as characters, too. So it was a really funny film. And I was kind of... So I was one of the only people in the film, I was in it. I was a one-man show. No. I was one of the only people in the theater going to see it. I went by myself, and then there was like this kind of elderly couple nearby who stayed silent the entire film. And I was like cracking up at moments. I'm like, is this not funny? Am I going crazy? But I was like, no, it's funny. They're just not laughing. But I really enjoyed those character interactions. And then even like the drama, like the conflict with between Ford and Ken, the conflict between Ford and Ferrari is a lot more nuanced than you'd think from a film called literally Ford v Ferrari. Ford v Ferrari. Matt Damon plays Ford and Christian Bale plays Ferrari.
Well, no, Matt Damon's Carroll Shelby.
No, he was making a joke.
I'm sorry. Let me just.
Have you ever seen the SNL Turtles?
Yeah. Were there any things that you maybe didn't like or maybe you thought could have been improved about the film?
I feel like one of the issues they always have with a lot of these films could always be like the female characters and their roles in it, because they often are placed into a role of like the household wife, and and obviously they give her some moments like that car scene, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But by the end of the film, she is the woman sitting at home supporting her husband and cheering for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's always like a bummer. Enjoy the portrayal of their relationship because I think they do a good job of creating the intimacy and the support there between each other.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
Yeah.
Also, the portrayal of a healthy father-son relationship.
Yeah.
I'm totally here for it. It was just so cute, and like that's the kind of thing that's like in my perfect life. Like my dad would have been like a race car driver kind of thing, and like I would have been like with him like on the track and stuff. But like it's just like it's like no matter like how engrossed like Ken gets into races, he always comes back to Peter.
Yeah.
Like, and you see like even like right off the bat in the first race, like they do that little chant like after he crosses the finish line, and it's just like right off to victory lane together. Like that was just so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, you know, with the wrench at the very beginning, he throws the wrench, he's all angry, and then he looks over, sees his son, and he, like, has that little half smile, like, he, like, you can see in Christian Bale's face, just, like, he, like, I don't know, he does such a good job with his little facial tics that show that he's, like, you know, he's, like, super angry, but the second he sees his son, it, like, just kind of fades away.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he sees what, like, his life is about. All right, so that's all the time we have for the spoiler-free section of the video. Let's talk spoilers.
Yeah.
Where do we want to start?
Oh my God, I don't know. There's so much.
Ken's death was so upsetting because I did not know
Ken
about it.
died.
Yeah, Ken does die, and it sucks.
James Mangold does a good job of setting up beats that will be later like reflected on later in the film, like motifs and whatnot.
Yes.
So when that introduction with Matt Damon, when he talks about the hitting 7,000 RPM, and then when they cut away from losing the Le Mans and then to just them like practicing and testing things in the desert, I'm like, okay, this is fun, showing how they're like still going to be pushing forward. It'll be a nice way to end it as he's doing the voiceover, and then the moment his brakes stopped to work, I was so upset.
And what I hate the most about this is that they play with it throughout the entire movie. They're like, is he going to die here?
Yes.
Is he going to die here?
Yeah.
And then by the time, like after like the big fire, while he's testing, you're like, and he's fine. You're like, oh, okay, like it's fine, it's fine. And especially if like I didn't even know much about Ken Mills going into this, so like I should have known that he would die at some point.
Yeah.
But like. Just like so I was like, oh, like he's testing, it's fine, everything's good. They're gonna do some like little like pan out kind of deal, and then just like this cloud, like you see the smoke and you see this cloud, and you're like, okay, like that's it, like
very upsetting. And then they kept going after that, and I was like, wow,
oh my goodness,
this is a lot.
Like from the beginning, like you know, it's a racing film. A lot of racing films, somebody dies in the car.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, I feel like somebody might die. I don't know. And then like you said, when he crashes and like it explodes, I thought he was dead there, obviously. And he's fine. And then I was like, okay, so maybe he's fine. And then during the entire Le Mans race, not the entire, but like, you know, during the Le Mans race when like he was pushing his
like halfway
race,
through,
halfway through with the Ferrari.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, is this it? Is this when it's gonna happen? Like I had to resist like going to my phone and looking up like Ken Miles. Does he die? How does he die?
It's like a Twitter account, does the dog die? And it's like, does the Ken Mills die?
Yeah, exactly. And so then after Le Mans, he like, you know, everything happened. It was bittersweet because he didn't win, but he did win and everything. And it was like, oh, okay, he's fine. We're at the end of the movie. No, it's all falling action. And then, oh my goodness.
But then you get, I don't know, some of Matt Damon's like just strongest acting when he like goes to their house and then he like plays with Peter. That whole moment was just so good. And the whole time I was watching it, I was like, wow, Matt Damon is like a good actor.
Yeah, when Matt Damon was like, Ken was, and then the son was like, your friend.
And he's like tearing up and he's like holding the wrench, and I'm like, wow, emotions. I
it's like, please pump the brakes if you can. It's too soon. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, it's a little too soon. My heart hurt.
Let's talk about Ford just about shitting himself.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know, I love that scene because at first it hit really funny, and then the moment where he starts like crying and being like, oh, I wish my dad had seen it, I was like, that was an emotional turn I was not expecting.
Yeah.
And I was like, at first he's just sobbing. I'm like, did he shit himself and he's upset about that? But like the moment he hit that, I was like, oh wow, this just got like dimensional, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's like a really good kind of reflection of the entire film.
Yeah.
The entire film, like at first glance, feels like Henry Ford II crying in a race car. You know, it's like kind of funny. It's like exciting and everything, and then it has those moments and like the nuance that kind of really grounds it in reality, and it's like, oh wow, this is a really good film.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's so many great character moments.
Yeah.
A lot of racing films have just that one character that's
Yeah.
like the racing virtuoso that
Yeah.
can do everything really well, and then if you bring in another, then it's, you know, the foil to that person, but like as a villain or something. But like having the two main characters be like best friends, foils to each other, and also both the virtuosos of racing, but like that makes them more of friends, and also like, I don't know, that just like worked really well in this film, and they could have easily fallen into just having them be the same character, one American, one British. What were some like technical car things that you really appreciated?
I really appreciated just like them like taking into account the stress that they're putting on the engines, because like I feel like that's something that's always overlooked in like car movies. That's like they're just pushing it, and you're like, there's got to be a limit like somewhere. Ford versus Ferrari is Speed Racer for people who want something realistic.
Yeah.
No, like that's really the best way to describe it, because Speed Racer, they're like these cars with like these engines that aren't like what we're used to, and they're like jumping around and like doing flips and whatever.
Yeah.
But Ford versus Ferrari is like has the same intensity, and it has the same kind of like dynamic.
Yeah.
But it's not cartoony, and it feels very like raw, and like it kind of matches like all like the sounds that kind of come out. Because like these aren't cars with like mufflers and stuff. These cars are straight pipes, and they are loud and aggressive, and yeah.
That's a really good comparison. I hadn't thought of that, because the Wachowski sisters like Speed Racer movie, I honestly really like it.
Yeah, no, same. That's like my favorite movie.
Really? No way. It's a really fun movie. It didn't get like, I don't know why, I do know why, but like it wasn't like critically acclaimed or anything, but it's a lot of fun. And yeah, this has that same kind of fun, high energy, but it's grounded in reality. Speed Racer is not supposed to be grounded in reality.
Yeah,
but
no. I thought what's funny is that Lee Iacocca is such like a minor character, but in the whole grand scheme of like car history, he's huge. Like, okay, so he worked for Ford, and then he worked for Chrysler. And so at Ford, like he was mainly marketing. He just kind of like worked his way up the ladder. When he went to Chrysler, like he really launched this kind of like marketing campaign that was like, if you can find a better car, buy one, and that remains truly iconic in like the history of like car sales. But like he's like such a huge figure in the history of cars.
So one thing we haven't talked a lot about is Ferrari. The Italian stereotypes, they definitely leaned into those.
Yeah.
I think part of it, which is kind of interesting now I'm thinking about it more, if the film is called Ford v Ferrari, but we don't get much of Ferrari.
Yeah.
Which honestly was fine with me to a degree, but at the same time, if you're calling that like half the point of the film, we're only getting it in the sense that it really is just Ford wanting to like crush them.
Overall, like I said, let me try that again. Overall, super duper fun. Go see it. Very entertaining. Take your kids to see it if you have children. Do I know any parents? I don't know. But if you're watching this,
Would you want to put them through the trauma of losing a parent and watching a child suffer?
Did you take your child to see? You don't have a child. Did you take your child to see Marley and Me? Then
Lion King.
Lion King. Yeah, honestly, Bambi. And a lot of kids, they see death in children. Anyway, take your kids.
What line of dialogue have we gone down?
Yeah. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. This has been episode 8 of Real People, Ford v Ferrari review. I've been Sam Elkins, and these have been my lovely guests, Michael Moore, Jeremy Fink.
7,000 out of 7,000 RPMs. For sure.
I will not be doing an episode next week, unfortunately, because of Thanksgiving. So I'll take a week off from watching my videos if you watch them. But tune in the week after. I will be reviewing Knives Out, a Rian Johnson whodunit. This is the movie I've been most excited for out of all the movies that I've been doing, if I'm being honest. Wow. I know. I love whodunits. I'm a sucker for whodunits.
It could be garbage.
And I love Rian Johnson. It's not garbage. I refuse to believe that. So, thanks for watching.